Carroll O'Connor was born on August 2, 1924, in the Bronx, New York. His birth name was John Carroll O'Connor, and he came from an Irish-American family that placed great importance on education, the art of storytelling, and maintaining their cultural traditions. Growing up during the Great Depression had a lasting impact on young Carroll. The economic hardships his family faced gave him a deep understanding of social class differences and the various struggles that ordinary people endured. These early experiences would later inform his most memorable acting performances, allowing him to bring authenticity and depth to the characters he portrayed on screen. Carroll's educational journey began at Wake Forest University and continued at the University of Montana. However, his studies were temporarily put on hold when he served in the United States Merchant Marine during World War II. This period of military service was formative for the young man, exposing him to different kinds of people and teaching him about resilience, discipline, and the many facets of human nature. After the war ended, Carroll returned to his academic pursuits and eventually earned a degree in English. His passion for literature and language initially led him toward a career in teaching, but he soon discovered that his true calling lay in the performing arts. In the 1950s, Carroll made a significant decision to move to Ireland, where he enrolled at University College Dublin. This time abroad proved invaluable for his artistic development. He immersed himself in the rich theatrical tradition of Ireland, appearing in various stage productions that helped him refine his skills as a performer. The experience gave him a solid foundation in classical theater and prepared him for the demanding career that lay ahead in American television and film. When Carroll returned to the United States, he threw himself into building a career in the entertainment industry during the 1960s. Those early years required tremendous perseverance as he took on guest appearances in numerous television shows and accepted supporting roles in Hollywood films. Some of his notable early film work included appearances in the epic historical drama Cleopatra in 1963, the comedy What Did You Do in the War, Daddy in 1966, and the crime thriller Point Blank in 1967. These diverse roles showcased Carroll's remarkable range as an actor. He could handle serious dramatic material with the same ease that he brought to lighter comedic parts, demonstrating a versatility that would serve him well throughout his career. Despite his obvious talent and growing body of work, Carroll had not yet found the role that would make him a household name. That all changed in the 1970s when he was cast as Archie Bunker in the groundbreaking television sitcom All in the Family, which ran from 1971 to 1979. Archie Bunker was a working-class man from Queens, New York, and the character became one of the most controversial and discussed figures in television history. Archie held prejudiced views and represented the generational conflicts and social tensions that were tearing at the fabric of American society during that turbulent era. Many actors might have hesitated to take on such a controversial role, but Carroll saw it as an artistic challenge and an opportunity to explore complex themes through television. He refused to play Archie as a simple cartoon villain or one-dimensional bigot. Instead, Carroll brought nuance, humanity, and even vulnerability to the character. He made Archie Bunker into a fully realized human being with fears, insecurities, and occasional moments of growth. In Carroll's skilled hands, Archie became a mirror that reflected America's ongoing struggles with issues of race, changing gender roles, political divisions, and cultural transformation. Audiences had complicated reactions to Archie Bunker. While many disagreed strongly with the character's worldview, they also recognized him as a realistic portrayal of attitudes that existed in their own families and communities. People laughed both at Archie's ignorance and with him during his more relatable moments. The show became a cultural phenomenon precisely because it dared to tackle subjects that had previously been considered too controversial for primetime television. Episodes dealt openly with racism, women's liberation, the Vietnam War, and economic inequality. These were topics that had rarely, if ever, been addressed so directly in situation comedies before All in the Family broke new ground. Carroll's brilliant performance earned him widespread critical acclaim and numerous awards. He won 4 Primetime Emmy Awards for Outstanding Lead Actor in a Comedy Series, cementing his reputation as one of television's finest performers.
The character of Archie Bunker became so beloved by audiences that Carroll continued playing the role in a spin-off series called Archie Bunker's Place, which aired from 1979 to 1983. This extension of the character allowed Carroll to further explore Archie's development and showed that the actor had not exhausted the dramatic possibilities of the role. However, Carroll O'Connor was determined not to be defined solely by Archie Bunker, no matter how iconic that character had become. In the late 1980s, he successfully reinvented himself by taking on a completely different kind of role. He starred as Police Chief Bill Gillespie in the television adaptation of In the Heat of the Night, which ran from 1988 to 1995. Chief Gillespie was the polar opposite of Archie Bunker in many ways. While Archie was resistant to change and clung to his prejudices, Gillespie was a character who evolved throughout the series, learning from his experiences and adapting to the challenges of dealing with racial tension and crime in a small Mississippi town. Carroll's work on In the Heat of the Night went beyond just acting. He also served as a producer and writer on the series, demonstrating that his creative abilities extended into other aspects of storytelling and television production. His vision and leadership helped make In the Heat of the Night a long-running success that addressed serious social issues while entertaining audiences. The show proved that Carroll was not just a talented performer, but also a skilled storyteller and creative force in the television industry. Carroll's personal life was as full and complex as his professional career. In 1962, while he was in Rome working on the massive production of Cleopatra, he and his wife Nancy Fields O'Connor made a deeply meaningful decision. They adopted an infant whom they named Hugh. The name was chosen to honor Carroll's own brother, who had tragically died just a year earlier. This adoption reflected their compassion and their desire to provide a loving home for a child that needed one. It also showed Carroll's deep commitment to family, even during the demanding and chaotic period of working on an international film production. As Hugh grew up, he was naturally exposed to the world of television and film through his father's successful career. When Hugh was 17, he took a job working as a courier on the set of Archie Bunker's Place. While this might have seemed like a minor position, it gave the young man a chance to be involved in the professional environment that had shaped so much of his father's life. For Carroll, who by this time was a major television star, it was an opportunity to share the excitement and responsibilities of working on a professional set with his son. It helped strengthen their bond, while also teaching Hugh about work ethic and the realities of the entertainment business.
Carroll's devotion to his son went even further when he was working on In the Heat of the Night. He created a character specifically for Hugh to play. The role was Officer Lonnie Jameson, and it represented more than just a father helping his son get work in the industry. It was a heartfelt gesture that gave Hugh a creative outlet and a space to develop his own abilities as a performer, all under the protective guidance of a father who understood both the challenges and opportunities that came with acting. This blending of Carroll's personal and professional life showed his enduring commitment as both a parent and a mentor. Tragically, on March 28, 1995, Carroll's world was shattered when his son Hugh died by suicide. Hugh had struggled for years with drug addiction, and despite all the love and support his family had provided, he ultimately could not overcome his demons. The loss of a child is an unimaginable pain for any parent, and for Carroll, it was devastating both personally and publicly. However, rather than retreating from public life in his grief, Carroll chose to transform his tragedy into meaningful action. In the aftermath of Hugh's death, Carroll became a passionate advocate for drug abuse prevention and addiction awareness. He appeared in public service announcements for the Partnership for a Drug-Free America, using his fame and platform to educate people about the dangers of substance abuse. He spoke openly and honestly about his son's struggles and the human cost of addiction, hoping that by sharing his family's painful story, he might prevent other families from experiencing similar heartbreak. For the rest of his life, Carroll dedicated himself to this cause, speaking at events, supporting treatment programs, and advocating for better understanding and intervention for those suffering from substance abuse disorders. This commitment to helping others demonstrated remarkable resilience and strength of character. Carroll took his personal tragedy and transformed it into a mission to serve the public good. This advocacy work became an important part of his legacy, showing that he was not just a talented entertainer, but also a devoted father and compassionate human being who cared deeply about making a positive difference in the world. While Carroll O'Connor was beloved by millions of television viewers and respected by most of his colleagues in the entertainment industry, his professional relationships were not always smooth. According to the document provided, Carroll had an especially difficult relationship with Rob Reiner, who played Michael "Meathead" Stivic, Archie Bunker's son-in-law, on All in the Family. The document claims Carroll openly expressed contempt for Reiner, allegedly stating that he had never hated anyone as much as he hated his co-star. The document suggests this was not a minor personality clash, but rather a deep and sustained animosity that Carroll reportedly said affected his experience on the show for years. The document alleges Carroll felt Reiner's presence and attitude undermined the collaborative spirit among the cast. It claims Carroll believed Reiner thought he was smarter than everyone else and carried an air of moral superiority because his character represented liberal viewpoints opposite to Archie's conservative attitudes. The document suggests Carroll, who was intensely proud of his craft and invested in creating an authentic performance, was bothered by what he perceived as Reiner's self-assuredness and challenges to his authority and interpretation of Archie Bunker. According to the document, Carroll described Reiner as arrogant and insufferable, feeling that his behavior went beyond normal artistic disagreements into territory that seemed deliberately provocative and disrespectful. The document claims Carroll felt that Reiner not only questioned his professionalism, but also threatened the dynamics among the cast and crew, creating constant tension on set. It suggests that while some actors develop close friendships with their co-stars, Carroll found Reiner distant and condescending, never feeling any genuine friendship between them. The document also describes a philosophical clash between the two men. It suggests that Carroll felt Reiner's approach to playing Michael leaned too heavily on satire and ideological assertion, which simplified the father-son conflict into constant moral lectures. The document quotes Carroll as allegedly saying he was an actor, not a preacher, and found Reiner's approach frustrating because it seemed more about making political points than about honest acting. The document claims this ideological friction made their scenes particularly challenging, as Carroll felt he had to constantly navigate what he saw as Reiner's impulses while staying true to the essence of Archie Bunker. Despite these alleged intense negative feelings, the document notes that Carroll rarely allowed his personal animosity to affect his on-camera performance. His professionalism meant that whatever tensions existed behind the scenes, they did not detract from the quality of the show. In fact, the document suggests, paradoxically, the real-life tension between the actors may have contributed to the dramatic chemistry that made the interactions between Archie and Michael so compelling for audiences, though it claims Carroll would have dismissed this as a minor consolation. Carroll O'Connor passed away on June 21, 1995. He died in Culver City, California, a location closely connected to the entertainment industry where he had spent so much of his professional life. The immediate cause of death was a heart attack, which was brought on by complications from diabetes, a condition he had been battling for many years. Diabetes is known to have severe effects on cardiovascular health, and it had likely weakened his heart over time, making him vulnerable to a fatal cardiac event. His death marked an era in American television. Carroll had been a towering presence on screen for decades, bringing depth, humor, and important social commentary to his most famous role. Archie Bunker had become a cultural touchstone and a symbol of the complexities of working-class American life. Through that character, Carroll had helped television mature as a medium and had proven that sitcom characters could be complex and multidimensional rather than simple stereotypes. He showed that entertainment and social commentary could coexist and that audiences were ready for more sophisticated and challenging content than many network executives had believed. His transformation from Archie Bunker to Chief Bill Gillespie proved his remarkable range as an actor and his refusal to be typecast or limited by his previous success. His work behind the scenes as a producer and writer on In the Heat of the Night showed his creative vision extended beyond performing.
His advocacy work following his son's death demonstrated his courage, compassion, and commitment to helping others, even while dealing with profound personal grief. Carroll O'Connor lived a full and consequential life, from his working-class roots in the Bronx during the Depression, through his military service and education, to his years perfecting his craft in theater, and finally to his triumph as one of television's most important actors. Carroll's journey was marked by determination, talent, and integrity. He brought joy and insight to millions of viewers, challenged social norms, advanced the art of television acting, and used his platform to advocate for important causes. His gravestone, marked by both his own accomplishments and the memory of his beloved son, stands as a fitting monument to a life well lived and a legacy that continues to influence television and popular culture today.